What is up, you filthy millennials? I'm the Cynical American, and today I'm going to bring you a rather weird deck profile of Cubics. Now, I've seen a lot of people play this deck, and I've lost to this deck. And I was at my locals the other day, and someone had mentioned this as a possible budget option for the format. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to play it. So I looked up some deck profiles. I was net decking, fair, whatever. But those builds were complete garbage. The Synchro build I hated because it relied way too much on the extra deck, which meant that you would lose to the cards that the deck normally wouldn't lose to, like Strike, Vanities, and Dimensional Barrier. The OTK build was bad because if you didn't OTK someone within the first 2 turns of the game, you were literally just going to lose to a Book of Moon. A Book of Moon would literally make you lose the game. And so here's a build that can FTK your opponent. Literally, through just 2 cards, I've dealt 12,000 damage. But it can also play a grind game if it needs to. So I'm going to run through the deck, talk about my card choices. I'm not going to go over all these cards do. I'm just going to go over the primary use of them in the deck, and then we'll talk about the usual stuff. So 3 Crimson Nova, this card is so good. Oh, being able to get just being able to reveal 3 other Cubic cards, but it can be a copy of itself. You can't reveal 3 of it and then summon 1, but you can reveal another Nova, a Duza, and like a Unification of the Cubic Lords, and then just summon this guy. And he's a Towers if the monster is 3k or less, so they can't Castel it. Dark Rebellion can't get any attack from it. They can't Ragna Zero it if you use Cubic Wave to double its attack. They can't, what is the name of that card that I can't think of? They can't Dark Destroyer this guy. CDI can't take it. It's just amazing. It can attack twice and burn. So, 3 Duza. This is like your best normal summon. Like being able to dump Aura to give stuff Cubic counters, being able to dump Karma to search, or being able to dump Combination for floating. It just generates so much card advantage for the deck, and that's what you need it for. 3 Vijam, it can stall for a little bit. And also, the thing, it's not like normal steal your opponent monster cards, where if the monster would be destroyed, it would be destroyed. No, it stays. So, like, even if, or like, not really take, but, like, when you target the monster and you Fiendish Chain it, like, once that monster leaves the field, say for a Synchro Summon or Xyz Summon, Vijam is still in your spell and trap card zone, and you can still summon it. And it gives you the ability to summon the Emperors, like Giragail. You only have to send 1, and it gains 800 attack, and then when it's summoned, it burns for 800. And then, at the end of the battle phase, when it battles, you can target 2 Vijams in Grave, send the Gira to Grave, and get them to the, get them to the field, and then you can search a copy of Vulcan Dragony, which I don't think I'm playing. No, I'm not, but I'll pull it up for you guys. Vulcan, this one. I'm not playing this one because I found this card really underwhelming, but you can play it if you want to. 2 Buster Gandil. This guy OTKs all by himself. So, like, if your opponent has an empty board, Crimson Nova won't get it done because it only attacks twice if it kills a monster. But this guy gets 3 attacks per battle phase and has 3k attack. And then when it dies, you can summon 3 Cubic monsters from your grave and get a Cubic card out of your grave. 1 Endora. He's just kind of here for being big. He's also a level 4. You know, that's cool, but this is also level 4. I'm only playing 1 of him. It's basically the same thing as this, it's just worse than this. But it's also another name to reveal for your Crimson Nova, so that's why you play it. Blade Gardner, he's cool, you know, he's big. And then 1 Dark Gainax, he's literally, if you wanted to cut him, you can cut him. I just like him because he's another name. And then 2 Monk for easy access to Duza and a rank 4 if you need it. And then 2 copies of Maxi, because this is an OTK deck, do not get me wrong, but you also have plays going first. But primarily, if you win the die roll, or on YGO Pro, if you win rock, paper, scissors, you usually want to go second. So that does it for the monsters. Onto the spells. 3-wave. This card is broken as shit. Like, you can literally just kill people with this card. Like, Nova plus this card is game if they don't have a response. So that's amazing. 3 Karma, your Surge card, and it lets you make Nova 4,600 by itself. So, 3 Foolish Burial Goods. I originally was playing 2, but this card is so good. Like, it's essentially playing 6 copies of Duza, and opening Duza is really good. Like, just being able to activate it, send a Karma, then search Duza to send another Karma to go get Crimson Nova. That Foolish Burial Goods already there is just a +2. It's a +2 already. And it can generate more value. 3 Twin Twister. You don't really lose to Strike, you don't really lose to D-Barrier, but you do lose to Battle Traps. So you don't want to randomly get hit with a Mirror Force. So just being able to snipe it out with a Twin Twister is really good. And pitching the waves and karmas that are in your hand, that's value. 2 Dark Hole and a Brigeki, your generic board wipes. Upstart, because 39. And Reasoning, just to send the spells and traps to the grave, and to have a very easy card to side out of your deck. And then 3 Unification. It lets you fusion summon Trinity, but I've never summoned that card. It's really here for the graveyard effect, where if a cubic monster leaves your field, or is destroyed by battle, you can banish it and summon a cubic from your hand or deck, ignoring summoning conditions, and it can't die by battle or card effect that turn. So you can get any of the Emperors or the Beast, but mostly you're getting Duza to dump another one into the graveyard, so that when it dies, or you use it for fusion material, or whatever, not even fusion material, I don't know. Like, if it dies, you get another one. So, but that does it for the main deck. It's 40 cards, obviously. For the extra deck, 3 Trinity. It's just kind of here. I was originally playing Fusion Conscription, but that card's really bad, so I decided to cut it from the final build. But if you do make it, which can happen, this card is God. It's a Magispector. When it attacks, just attacks, you already half your opponent's life points. So it sends them from 8k to 4k, and if that's attacking directly, they're dead. If it kills a monster, it can attack again. And then if you burn, they burn. So that's just amazing. But I've never summoned it. Usually never make the cards in this extra deck, except for maybe a couple of them. Slacker Magician, okay. Daigusto Phoenix is okay. Cavalry's okay. Some generic rank 4s. Rhapsody for the graveyard. Cowboy for extra damage. Dweller is Dweller. Emerald for recycling your resources. Samurai, because it's Samurai. And Castel is Castel. This pushes Vertiers. This can clear Ragnar Zero. You can make it on a zoo board, draw a card. And then the cards you usually make. Nova's a level 10. So it lets you make Gustav, Max, and Dora. If you're going first and you have multiple Crimson Novas, you can make Dora and just sit on it because it does have 4,000 defense. And then this can, like, just say you have 2 of these, right? You attack with them, that's 6k, and then overlay into this, and that's 8,000 damage by itself. So that does it for the extra deck. Usually never go into it, but it's there in case you need it. I have gone into Cowboy a couple of times. I've gone into Emerald once. I did summon Daigusto Phoenix once against a really bad Infernoid player. It was funny. But for the side deck, we have Hand Traps, DD Crow, and Lancia. DD Crow's for Zoo, obviously. If you're going first, it just gives you protection against the Zoo combo. If you're going second, you can snipe it out when they go for that Daigusto Emerald play. Super good. Lancia is obviously for Infernoids, but it's also against rogue decks like Ritual Beast. I don't know, what else? What else would you use against? Banish Troll OTK? I don't know, something stupid. But that's what it's here for. 2 System Down for ABC and Cosmo. Those are some of your worst matchups because they do have removal for your Crimson Nova. And because you don't really want to crash this guy into battle. Especially against Cosmo, because you can't really target any other monsters. Because like when you target the pilot, it needs to be on the field to resolve. So they just banish and summon a ship, or just another pilot, and you have no aura. Or same thing when targeting Buster, they'll just chain the defuse. So System Down super good. 2 Book of Eclipse and 2 Shallows. This is really here for big boards. More than likely Eclipse. That's for matchups like Toad Hero, matchups like Metal Foe, matchups like Zoo, where they just make their super big board and you just Book of Eclipse them, and then you can go off. Now you could argue, okay, well, why are you playing board wipes and Book of Eclipse? The thing is, though, you don't want to, like, especially Toad Hero, you don't want to give them a Dark Hole. You don't want to not kill them, and then they Dark Hole your board, and then they just reset. You don't want to give them a Raigeki, and you damn sure don't want to give them Twin Twister. But you don't mind giving them a Book of Eclipse, because you can play through that. This is for big boards. Chalice is for decks like Monarch, decks like Yosenju, decks like, I don't know, what else is relevant, or have relevant, that people are playing these days. Again, like Ritual Beast. Like, they don't set up big boards. They go for their one main monster effect and just being able to snipe it out. Or, like, being able to hit the Vanity's Fiend in Monarch is good. Or sometimes you can target your own monster to give attack with some damage step shenanigans. And then for going first against Zoo, we have the 3 Chain Disappearance because you really want to hit that fucking rat. And then 2 Imperial Ironwall for Infernoids. This can hurt you a little bit because you need all your spells and traps banish. But you can Twin Twister it if you absolutely have to. Say you're just trying to floodgate Infernoids and, it floodgated them, they pass to you, and you have a Duza, and say, like, an Aura in hand. You can normal Duza, send the Karma, you can Twin Twister yourself, hitting the Iron Wall on one of their back row, you can banish the Karma, go get Crimson Nova, and just kill them. So... Oh, yay. Thanks, Wedge. Love you. But, anyway. This deck is actually really fun. Like, just being able to one-card OTK somebody for 12,000 damage is really, really stupid. And a lot of people just don't know what these cards do. And it's a very fun deck. It is somewhat of a cheap deck. It's really just the staple cards like the Maxies and the Twin Twisters and the goods that are really expensive. But Twin Twisters is getting a reprint. This is going to go down eventually. Maxi probably needs another reprint unless it goes to 1. In that case, it'll go down eventually because then everyone will have an extra copy of Maxi. So, but anyway, guys, that's my Cubic deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your thoughts and comments in the description down below. Tell me what your build of Cubics is, what you would put in the deck, any side deck choices that you guys like this format, anything about the extra deck, just anything about this deck in general. Leave it down in the comments. I'm Cynical American. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.